Hello, good evening, good morning. I don't know where you are. It could be either of those things. I'm Sanjeev Kohli. You might know me better as Naveed from Still Game, or Gary from Gary Tank Commander, or Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, Dracarys. I presented at last year's Celtic Media Festival, and I loved it so much that Katrina here has asked me to help with... Begged. They kidnapped me to help with announcing the nominees. Now, Katrina's quite high up. In fact, could you explain your role?
I am incredibly high up. Incredibly high. I am the director of Celtic Media Festival.
The director. Right. So we thought we'd put our heads together and we would do the announcements of the nominees for CMF 2020. Can I say hashtag CMF? Am I allowed to?
Yeah, of course.
Hashtag CMF. Could we make the thing with our fingers?
Hashtag CMF.
So that's what we're going to do. We've got loads and loads of, there's so much talent on these cards. These are all the nominees that fought through an exhaustive process to be nominated for.
Tables were flipped, mistakes were made, hair was pulled, but we got there in the end.
A man died.
Well, yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. So should we crack on then?
Yes, let's please.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Right. Now, what's the first category?
The first category is animation.
You are correct, and the first nominee in that category is Baba.
Our next nominee is Far Isle.
Followed by Memorable.
Next one is Hahu Akin Mansion.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Oh, we should actually explain that neither of us speaks Gaelic or Breton
or
Welsh. My English is barely, it's not my first language.
Yeah.
So please, apologies in advance to any mispronunciations, or is it mispronunciations? I never know.
I've heard it both ways.
I've
heard it both ways,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, second category is the arts. The first nominee in this one is An Engineer Imagines.
Next we have Anarin Caradoc, Bars e Duer Varsit.
Then we've got Colin McLeod, When It Kicks In.
Mike Stevens, Dimond Cascadian is next.
And finally, I'll let you do that one.
Slán Leis Gil.
Okay. Next category is Children's Programme. Again, a very fiercely fought category. First up in this one is Aquilando.
Next we have Lon Linda.
Then Prochette Z.
Na Petra Ta is next.
Then The Girl at the End of the Garden.
And next we have Shusha Siwin. On to comedy now. To start with, we have Funk.
Then Holiday.
Soft Border Patrol.
And finally in this category, Two Doors Down, Series 4. Next category is Current Affairs. First up is Britannia Radieuse.
Disclosure, Who Killed Emma is next.
And finally, Greyhounds Running for Their Lives. Next category is Drama Series, or Dwama Series.
We'll start with Estiba.
Then Enid a Lucy.
Line of Duty is next.
Then Guilt.
Following that is Pili Pala. On to entertainment now.
That's correct.
Very entertaining shows out there this year.
Very strong category. Short one though. First one is BBC Arts Northern Ireland Presents Collaborations.
Next is Boyd Epic Chris.
Then Céile na Blianúr.
Finally, we have Project Pim Meal.
Okay, next up is Factual Entertainment. Entertainment in a factual kind of a way.
It teaches you while you learn.
Exact edutainment, if you will.
Ooh, fancy.
Thank you. First one is Born to be Wild.
Next is Gani Gimru, Dathlir Pimdeg.
Then Galicia Bonita.
Hector o Siberia go Saigon is next.
And finally in this category, the 1900 Island.
Great. On now to factual series. We will start with Finney Sophia Murphy.
Then second up is Murder Case.
Next we have Wales, Land of the Wild.
And finally in this category, Whistleblower, the Maurice McCabe story.
On now to history.
Now this is a big old category, isn't it? Lots of entries.
There is lots of entries. We are big fans of revisiting bits and bobs that go on around and about. Not to be too vague.
I believe it was Eric B. and Rakim that said it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. And I've just actually contradicted the history notion there, so let's ignore what I just said.
Okay.
It's not where you're at, it's where you're from.
Okay.
Let's flip that.
Okay. Well, that was beautiful. That was erudite and fantastic. I enjoyed it. So history. So first we have 39 to 45 Le Breton sous occupation.
Next up is Dark Sun, the hunt for a serial killer.
Next we have Gasik Ogan, the Darna Kukik.
Then Homo Springs, Treng Wynton.
In Our Own Words.
Then Michael Davitt, Radagach.
We have Segredos, Desmontando Galicia next.
And then The Prince and the Bomber.
And finally, Urskol, Evit and Amso.
Okay, next category, one very close to my heart, and I've not been nominated. It's radio comedy. The first one of these that I've not been nominated in is Abola Extra.
The next one that Sanjeev hasn't been nominated in is a perforated ulster.
Also a Sanjeev vacuum is Between Ourselves with Marianne Keyes.
The next one, Sans Sanjeev, is Breaking the News.
I'm also not in the credits of Colm O'Regan Wants a Word About the Irish Language.
Forget about Sanjeev in Long Division.
And I auditioned and didn't get a part in Sue and John.
It's a terrible state of affairs. Huh? Terrible
Taste the
state of
bitterness,
affairs.
taste the bitterness.
Next, we have Radio Doc. To start with, it's Baltin Favrone.
Second up is documentary on one, Benji the Little Gay Bull.
Foslum is next.
Then In Two Minds.
Next, we have Mara de Adora Shipwreck Special.
Then Santa Maria Ila Siolach Gochi.
Stadium Stories.
Then Stardust.
The Moon and Us.
And finally, in this category, they are gone, but they are not silent. Okay, next one is radio drama, quite a short one, but a very strong category. First is Found,
Next, we have Helio Houston.
then Petals.
And finally, we have Arwisco.
Okay. Now, before we go on,
Yes.
right, you're going to be in France this year.
Yes,
Exciting?
Yes, in Brittany,
Yeah.
where the food is incredible.
You scoped it out then? You've been
Oh,
there.
I've been a couple of times, yeah. The food is incredible. The wine is cheap.
Oh, hello.
Women Wine and Song is what I'm thinking of for Celtic Media Festival 2020. Or Gentlemen Wine and Song, or whatever you're into. Wine and song.
Okay.
And crepes.
And gentlemen and women and people that don't feel defined by the binary.
Whatever you want to do, as
Labels.
long as you're drinking wine and singing a song, I'm happy out. man.
Excellent. Well, it's
Yeah.
going to be a good laugh and full of culture. Okay, the next category is radio magazine show.
So we'll start there with Beggar Veg,
Then Bladder,
Galicia Por Diante,
Ifan Evans,
Raglan Allet Hughes,
Scots Radio.
Your Place and Mine. Next, we have Radio Music Programme. We're very talented in the Celtic nations and regions at a bit of music, you know.
And this is live as well, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is a bit of a hoolie. We're great at it. So we will start there with Egmira Mimvoreg and Vod.
Then Another Country with Ricky Ross.
Next, we have Blas Cuig Fui Cuig.
Then Hoynos, Georgia Ruth.
And finally, Sruth Namwela.
Okay, now this is a bit of a strongly competed one as well. It's the radio presenter of the year. And we've got the big hitters from all the different bits, so I'll let you do all of them.
We pit country against country in
I've
a game of
noticed that.
life and death here. So up for this year for Ireland, Cuiva Ní Chaill. For Scotland, Kay Adams. And for Wales, Tudor Owen.
They are. Imagine Eurovision, but slightly more violent. Next category is radio sports.
To start, we have Blas on Tavelina.
Then we've got Cali Thistle, Invernishag, Coag Argechach.
Next, Spurs na Seachtain.
Then Super G, how Geraint won the yellow jersey.
And finally, the players is the men, Derry 1993.
Now, a biggie, radio station of the year.
Yeah. So we will start with BBC Radio Cymru.
Next up is BBC Radio Foyle,
Next, we have RTE Radio 1.
then Radio Nangel,
Next, Radio na Lifa.
then RTE Lyric FM,
Next, we have BBC Radio Ulster.
and finally RTE Radio Naugaltachta.
Very good, very good. We're flying here, Sanjeev. It's brilliant. Okay, next we have sports documentary.
Yes.
We are okay at sports in the Celtic nations and regions, but brilliant at documentaries about
We're very good at
sports.
documenting sport.
We're really good at it.
Yes.
So we will start with Finney Paddy Merrigan.
Next up is Jockey Wilson Said,
Next we have Jump Girls.
then Real Kashmir FC.
Next, The Last Climb, Eric Jones.
Marvellous.
Okay, next we have short drama.
No offence,
I am of average height.
and you're quite dramatic.
Tiny drama queen. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The first one in this category is Hard Crack the Wind.
Next, Merched Parkus.
Then we've got The Brave.
Next, we have The Music Room.
And finally in this category, On More. Okay, next up is short form. No offence, Katrina.
Rude. To start, we have On View.
Next up is Bin Bag, the Break Series 4.
Next, we had Bloodwin Brie. Sorry to everybody in Wales there.
And then next, Corna.
Next, we have Mira.
Then we've got Oncar.
The New Scots is next.
Next up is Tremble.
Okay, I'm going to try this. The next, we have Un Pe on 360 O Monasterio de San Pedro de Roca. That went okay.
That was all right.
Next we have single drama. We'll start here with Bait.
Followed up by Finky.
Next we have OK Arde.
And finally in this category is The Left Behind.
Brilliant. Oh, last category, Sanj.
Okay, now it's last, but it's also the most subscribed and the most competitive. We seem to be very good at this sort of thing, don't we?
We do. We tell a story, particularly a sad story about somebody's life, very, very, very well. We're good at it. And,
Oh, hold on.
Okay, yeah.
My car's the meter's just run out. So you believed me, didn't you?
That had
That's how
everything.
good we are at telling stories.
That had
you know.
everything.
Sad, poignant, beginning, midline
Veritas.
stories.
I know you can drive a car.
Yes.
So I know that's true.
Yes.
Had a beginning, middle, and an end.
If
It went like
only
this.
someone had filmed it.
Well, you know what?
I'm not in the shortlist. You'll be pleased to hear.
2021 Celtic Media Festival. Spirit of the festival.
A little bit of post-production.
You
I'll be
never
there.
know. You never know. Okay.
So, single documentary.
Yes. We will start with Fun o Carnaval.
Then Gareth Thomas, HIV and Me.
Next, we have Harry Birrell, Films of Love and War.
Then In Sight of Home.
Laura Brennan, This Is Me.
My Autistic Big Brother and Me.
Nay Passaran.
Scala Nabaha.
Next, we have The Incurable Optimist.
Then Women Uprooted.
Finally, for CMF 2020 nominee list, and this is a tongue twister, Jan Fanch Kemener, Tremen en Urganan.
So there you go. There are all your nominees for CMF 2020. What a
Yes.
fantastic amount of talent is in these cards alone. Oh, I'm actually wilting under the pressure of the talent.
Do you know what it is? It's quantity and quality.
Yes.
That's what we've got going on
A
here.
bit like me, I'm 6'2" and all of it's brilliant. But
is
genuinely, this is the good stuff. It's
Yeah.
going to be a hell of a judging job.
Yes,
Hell of a judging
already
job.
our national juries have been absolutely fantastic whittling these down because the amount of talent in the Celtic nations and regions is incredible. I say it every year, and I mean it most years.
Yes, and don't forget, everyone's a winner. That's not true,
That's
because
not true.
otherwise the podiums would be long and flat.
Aye,
But to be on this list is good enough, but to win, you'll be getting a free crepe
At least one free crepe.
and a blonde beer. See you in France.